Hello students, I am Piyush Arora and today we will discuss about the looping in Java. I will explain you the iteration or loops in Java. Iteration is also called loops, which is called repetition. So iteration statements are used to repeat any process or task for a given number of times, more than once. The loop may be finite, conditional, or infinite, unconditional, or endless, depending upon the nature of task. There are three types of statements to perform looping tasks in Java. They are for, while, and do while. So these are the three types of loops which we will discuss today, and each one of them has different type of structure, and there are two types of loops: entry control loop and exit control loop. Entry control loops are those loops which are checked before the entry of the loop. Exit control loops are those loops which are checked after the exiting of the loop. Every loop has two parts: the control part, the process part called body of the loop. Every loop has three properties to follow for its execution. Number 1, initialization, number 2, checking, and number 3, updation or steps. So we will discuss about the entry control loops first. The loop that checks the condition before entering into the body, that is the process of the loop, is called an entry control loop. For example, for and while loops. These are entry control loops. These loops will not perform even once if the condition given to execute the loop becomes false in the first case, that is in the beginning itself. Now we come to the exit control loop. The loop that checks the condition after exiting the body, that is the process of the loop, is called an exit control loop. For example, do while. This loop will perform at least once, even if the condition given to execute the loop becomes false in the first case, that is in the beginning itself. Now we will discuss about the for loop. So we will go into the details of the for loop. This is the for loop. This is an entry control loop and perform the repetitions, that is the iterations, for a fixed number of times, and the syntax is as follows. We will give the for keyword, then braces, then the initial value, inside the braces, semicolon, test condition, semicolon, change value, that is increment or decrement. This is called step value also. So steps are given here. And then we have the body of the loop, which is inside the curly brackets. This is the body of the loop, the body process of the loop. For example, we have written a small program here. Class for loop, starting of the class with the curly brackets, void printing number. This is a function. Starting of the function with the curly brackets, int I. Now I here is a control variable which starts from 1 and ends at 10. So int I. Then we have a for keyword. Then we have braces. In braces we have I is equal to 1, which is called initialization, called the initial value, as we have mentioned here in the syntax, initial value. Then I less than equal to 10, which is the test condition, and I plus plus is the change value which is incrementing, which is called the step value. Step means step 1 by 1, because we are incrementing 1 by 1. I plus plus means incrementing the value of I by 1. So here I is a control variable which starts from 1 and ends at 10. Now inside the curly braces, that is the body of the loop, we have system out print line I, which means we are printing the value of I, which will start from 1 and go up till 10 and vary from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up till 10. So this is the body of the loop and it will end here. This is the end of the function and this is the end of the class. So this is a small program to illustrate the working of a for loop. Now when we do this program on the computer, that is on the BlueJ platform, we will get this output: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All the numbers automatically generated by the computer, since the program is for generating the numbers from 1 to 10. Now we come to the while loop. Now while loop, when times of iteration is not known, that is indefinite, then this loop is performed. However, this loop can be used for definite number of times of iterations and can replace for loop, but usually it is used when the loop is to be performed for unknown number of times. The initial value of the control variable has to be declared before the start of the loop. This is an entry control loop. The syntax is as follows. First, we declare the variable with the initial value. Then we have a while keyword, braces. In braces, we have a condition or a relational expression. And then we have the body of the loop. As we had the body of the loop in the for loop, we have the body of the loop in the while loop also. And for example, we have a definite loop over here, class while loop, void printing numbers, int I is equal to 1. Now you see here, we have initialized the value of I by 1. Whereas in this case, in for loop, we have not initialized any value. Only the variable is given, the number is not initialized over here. But here, the value is being initialized because the structure of the while loop is like that only, that the value has to be initialized before the while loop starts. Then we have a while keyword, in brackets we have a condition I less than equal to 10, and in the body of the while loop we have system out println I, and after printing the number we are incrementing the value of I by 1, that is I plus plus. I plus plus means step value, that is incrementation. So you see here all the three properties of the loop are taken care, that is the initialization in the first case, then this is expression condition over here, that till which value you want to continue, and this is called I plus plus, which is called incrementation of the numbers one by one. So this is how we are printing the numbers in a while loop from 1 to 10. So this loop will also perform in the same way as for loop performs and will give you the output in the same way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 when you do it on the computer. We will check these two programs in the BlueJ platform and see whether the answer is coming or not. So for loop here. So this is the loop. This is the program I have already written. We will compile this program. And now we will close, make the object of this program. After object, we are printing the numbers. So see here, the numbers are printed from 1 to 10. So this is the working of the for loop. Now we will go back to the indefinite loop in a while structure. Indefinite loop is a loop where we do not know how many times the loop is going to be performed, whether once, twice, thrice, or 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, as many times as the user wants. Depending on that, the loop has to be performed. So in that case, this is called an indefinite loop, where the definite number of times is not known to us. Therefore, we do it in a way. The illustration is here before you. We have import java.util.star. We have to import the Java utility package. Then class while loop, hello Java, this is the function. Void hello Java is the function. Scanner sc is equal to new scanner system.in. This is to input the data through the scanner class method. Character b is equal to y. Now b is a character type of variable. The value of b is initialized to y, while b is equal to y. This condition is given here so that till the value of b is equal to y, the computer will perform this loop, and as soon as it becomes no, n, the computer will stop performing the loop. So here we enter into the loop, that is the process. System out println hello Java. System out print, do you want to continue, yes or no? B is equal to sc.next character at 0. Now this line gets the value from the user either yes or no. Till the value is entered as yes, the computer will keep on printing hello Java and asking you the prompt, asking you the question, do you want to continue, yes or no? When you say yes, it will again print hello Java, and if you say no, then it will be stopped. So this program will come to an end only when you say no, that is n. And if you keep on entering the value y, then the computer will keep on printing the message hello Java and asking you the question whether you want to continue, yes or no. So this type of a program has to perform in while loop, and this is called indefinite loop. So here the output will be something like this. Hello Java, do you want to continue? Yes. Hello Java, do you want to continue? Yes. Hello Java, do you want to continue? No. So when we say no, then the program ends. Until we say yes, the computer continues with the program. So we will check this program now. This is a while loop. Now this is a program which I have already written for you, and this program will perform till the user wants it, till we want it. As soon as we say no, the computer will stop. So we will compile this program. After compilation, we will close this program. We will make the object. Object will be made. After making an object, we will perform the function void hello Java, and hello Java, it will print hello Java, and it will ask you, do you want to continue? This above output you are seeing is for the for loop, the previous program which we had run. This is the previous program. So do you want to continue? We type yes, capital Y. Remember, we have to type capital Y. In case we enter small y, then also the program will end, because the program has to check for the capital Y only. The checking has been given for capital Y. So as soon as we press capital Y and press enter, computer will again print hello Java. It will ask you again, do you want to continue? So we press Y again and press enter. Again it will print hello Java. We press Y again it will print hello Java. And if we press no, then it will stop. This is the end of the program. So here you will see that the program has ended. So we come back to our again explanation of do while loop now. Do while loop, this also performs like a while loop, with only difference that it first processes the body of the loop and then checks for the condition. That is, it checks the condition at the exit of the body of the loop rather than at the entry, as in the case of while loop. This is an exit control loop. The syntax is as follows. Declare the variable with initial value. So initial value has to be declared here also, as in the case of while loop. Then we have a do keyword. Then we have the body of the loop. After the body is over, then we have a while condition. And in brackets we have a condition with a semicolon at the end. Remember, in do while, the while condition is ended by a semicolon. Here is a small program to illustrate the do while loop. Class do while loop for printing numbers. Int I is equal to 1, so value of I is initialized here. Do, then we have body of the loop, system out print line I plus to increment the value one by one automatically. And after the body is finished, then we have a while condition I less than equal to 10, which is called the ending of the loop, but with a condition. So here the condition is given after the loop is ended. Whereas in while we have before the loop, and in do while we have after the loop. After the loop is over, that is while condition, we have a semicolon at the end. So remember, put a semicolon at the end of the while condition. So most of the things are same as while, only little bit of difference. Now here I is a control variable which starts from 1 and ends at 10, since I plus plus increments the value of I from 1 to 10. Now if you run this program on the computer, you will get again the same answer, 1 to 10, all the numbers will be printed. So here we have a comparative analysis, or you can say a comparative illustration of all the three programs with for loop, with while loop and with do while loop. We have a program to print odd numbers from 1 to 19, and we have first for loop, then in middle we have a while loop, and in the third row we have the do while loop. You see here odd numbers, class are same, all the classes are same, odd numbers. Function is also same, print odd, print odd, print odd. Then we have int I for loop, and starting for loop here, I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 20, I is equal to I plus 2. Now this is the step I have changed. Instead of I plus plus, I have made it I is equal to I plus 2, because we have to increment two values at a time, because after 1 plus 2 it becomes 3, plus 2 it becomes 5, plus 2 it becomes 7, and so on. So you have to increment by 2, only then we will get the odd numbers. So here the incrementation is done by two steps. System out print line I will print the numbers in this form 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 up till 19. See, the condition is given I less than 20. Less than 20 means up to 19. Same way here also, in while loop we have I is equal to 1 initialized, then I less than equal to 20, that is the condition, system out print line I, and the incrementation again is the same, I is equal to I plus 2. So this will also give the same answer, 1 to 19, all the odd numbers. Then again we have class odd numbers here for do while I is equal to 1 initialized, the value of I to 1. Then we have do, then we have system out print line I is equal to I plus 2, again step 2 incrementation, while I less than 20 semicolon. So this is little bit of difference, but it will again give you the same answer, that is 1 to 19, all the odd numbers. So all these programs are doing the same thing, printing odd numbers from 1 to 19, but using different commands or keywords. So we will again check this program now in BlueJ, printing odd numbers. So this is the program. This is a program here. This program actually is printing odd numbers using a while loop. So we will compile this program. After compilation, we close this program. Then we make the object of this program. After making an object, we are printing the odd numbers. So see here, all the odd numbers are printed from 1 to 19. That is the old output which you are seeing in the beginning, but after this is the latest one. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. Again we will just clear the screen and try to run this program again. So now you see on the fresh screen the odd numbers are being printed from 1 to 19. So this is the output being generated by the while loop using looping methods in Java. Now we come back to see the printing of numbers in the reverse order. How to print the numbers in the reverse order using for loop, while loop and do while loop. So what we are doing, most of the things are same. The name of the class, the name of the function is same. Int I, for I is equal to 20, I greater than equal to 1, I is equal to I minus 1. Now here the initialization starts from the higher value and goes to the lower value. Means we have to go from higher to lower. So therefore we have a incrementation in a reverse order, or we can say we are decrementing the value. We have a decrement value option over here. We are having a step in the reverse order. So that is called step -1. I is equal to I minus 1 means we are going in the step -1. So here 20 to 1, I is equal to I minus 1 means reverse order. Again while also, while int I is equal to 20. Now the initialization is done as 20, and while I greater than equal to 1 means till the value of I remains greater than equal to 1, the loop will perform, and as soon as it comes to 1, it will end. Means from 20 to 1 the numbers will be printed. In the do while loop also the same situation. I is equal to 20 initialized, then do system out print line I is equal to I minus 1, decrease 1 by 1, and while I greater than equal to 1, this is the condition, till the value of I is equal to 1 it will perform and then end. So here we see the numbers are being printed from 20 to 1 either by for loop, by while loop or by do while loop. So all the three programs do the same thing to print the reverse numbers from 20 to 1. So when you run this program on the computer, you will get answer 20, 19, 18, 17 up till 1. So this is a program which will again see on the BlueJ. Find the reverse number. We will make the object. First let me clear the old object. So we remove the old object. We now see the program. The program is here. Using a do while loop we have done it. This program is done by using a do while loop. So we will first compile this program. After compiling, we are closing the program. Now we will make the object is this program. Object is made on the left corner. Now see here, just to run the function void print reverse. So now you see the numbers are printed from 20 to 1, 20, 19, 18, 17 up till 1. So you see here the program successfully runs and prints the numbers in the reverse order. So I think this is clear to you. Now we again close the output screen. Now come back to our original screen. Now we print the multiple tables of any given number. Now this program here prints the multiple table for any given number. Suppose you enter number 9. Computer will print the multiple tables for 9 from 1 to 10. Suppose you enter number 18. The computer will print the tables of 18. So any number you input, the computer is going to print the multiple tables of that number. So what we are doing here is we are having three programs. Again we are having program with a for loop, program with a while loop and program with a do while loop. Now what we are doing here is in the function void print table we are having an argument int n. This int n is used for entering the number by the user. The user will enter the number and depending on the number the computer will generate the multiple tables. We have two variables int I comma p, that is I and p are two variables. I is for the loop, I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, I is equal to I plus 1. Now this loop is going to perform for 10 times, therefore I is equal to 1 to 10. Then in the brackets, that is the body of the loop, we have p is equal to I into n. Now p is equal to I into n is taken for multiplying the numbers by 1, by 2, by 3. The number, suppose you enter 9, 9 will be multiplied by 1, then 9 will be multiplied by 2, then 9 will be multiplied by 3, and the values will be stored respectively in P variable, and P is there to print the multiplication, the product of the number. So we are printing system out print line n, that is the symbol of multiplication. Small x has been given but is the symbol of multiplication. Then plus I equal to again assignment operator, but it is not an assignment operator, it is a constant over here to show you that the numbers are printed in a formatted manner. So n will be the number user input, x is the multiplication symbol, I is the numbers from 1 to 10, and equal to is the symbol, p is the product of the number from n into I. So n into I will be the product of p. So here we are printing the table. Same thing we are doing here also. Only the thing is that we are initializing the value of I is equal to 1. Otherwise, while I is less than equal to 10, p is equal to I into n. System out print line, the same method. I is equal to I plus 1, incrementation. So initialization, condition, and incrementation is the same method here also, and in the do while also it is the same thing. So this type of a program, if suppose you enter a number 7, will give you the output in this form. Here you see on the screen, 7 into 1 is equal to 7, 7 into 2 is equal to 14. Now this into symbol is coming because of the x. So this 7 into 1 is equal to 7. Into symbol is coming because of x, and equal to symbol is coming because of this equal to sign you have given in the double quotation marks, and double quotation marks x is also given. So 7 into 1 is equal to 7, 7 into 2 is equal to 14, 7 into 3 is equal to 21, up till 7 into 10 is equal to 70, because there are 10 terms to be printed in the multiple tables. So this is how the multiple tables are printed in a formatted manner. Now here you see in the do while, since we have not given any formatting, simple print line P, system out print line P has been given. So the output will not be in the formatted manner as in the case of while or the for loop, but a simple generation of product of the numbers will be printed, that is 7, 14, 21 and so on up till 70. So see the difference when you give the formatted output and when you don't give the formatted output. See the difference you find out in the output screen. So this is the difference you will get. Now we have a program here to print the alphabets from A to Z. The looping can be used for printing the alphabets also. Now here we have a character x. X is equal to A in single quotes, x less than equal to Z, and x plus plus. System out print line x. Now x is not a number over here, x is a character. So characters can also be used in the loops. In a for loop, the characters can also be used. In the while loop also the characters can be used. Do while loop also characters can be used. So characters are also used and they are incremented one by one, means from A to Z means A, B, C, D up till that. So when we do this program on the computer, we will find the output like this, A, B, C, D up till Z. So this is one variation from the numbers. It is not that only the numbers can be printed, but also the alphabets also can be printed from the loops. So these programs we will just check on the BlueJ. First we will check the multiple tables. I will remove the old object. We'll see the multiple table program. The program is already written over here. This is the program. We will compile the program. Now we will run the program by making the object. After making the object, we will just run the function. When we run the function, see the argument window has come here. Now we will give the number. Suppose we give the number 7 and we press OK. We see the multiple table here. 7 into 1 is equal to 7, 7 into 2 is equal to 14, 7 into 3 is equal to 21, 7 into 4 is equal to 28, up till 7 into 10 is equal to 70. Now what happens, suppose we run it again and give some other number. Suppose we give 19 and we say OK. Now the table of 19 will be appeared on the output screen and we see the table of 19 here. Perfectly well. Suppose another number we give suppose 12. Now the table of 12 will be printed on the screen. So see the table of 12 is printed. So this program is quite perfect now. Now we will remove the object. We will check for the alphabets program now, whether to print the alphabets. Okay. So we will see this program is already written for you. Already we have written this program. We will compile this program now. After compilation, we will run this program by creating an object. Create the object and run the function void print alphabets. Now you see all the alphabets are printed on the screen, A to Z. This is the output of the alphabets being printed on the screen by using a for loop. So students, I hope you have understood everything now about the loops. We will continue further. In the next session, I will continue with the nested loops and the use of continue and the break keywords. And I hope to meet you in the next session very soon. Thank you and have a nice day.